Hey guys, what's up? This is Bharat. You're watching iGyaan, and today we're going to be reviewing the new Honor 9 Lite. So let's quickly get started. Now, the Honor 9 Lite has been launched in India for a price of 10,999 rupees. Now, this is an extremely busy market for the smartphone buyer. There are so many options available in this price bracket that the buyer is getting confused. Honor themselves have launched several phones in this price bracket, and with the 9 Lite, they are basically undercutting their own Honor 7X, which was launched in December. Let's do a quick roundup of specifications for the Honor 9 Lite, which in theory are identical to the Honor 7X. So you get the Kirin 659 chipset, which is an octa-core chipset with 4 2.3 GHz cores and 4 1.7 GHz cores. You also get 3 or 4 GB RAM options with 32 or 64 GB storage respectively, and you also get a micro SD card expansion up to 256 GB. Now, the battery on this phone is a smaller 3000 mAh battery, and also the display is a 5.65 inch display. It is an IPS LCD display with a resolution of 2160 by 1080. It is an 18:9 aspect ratio and has an impressive 428 pixels per inch. Now, thanks to the form factor of the Honor 9 Lite and the overall size, which makes it slightly more compact and easier to use with one hand, even if you have large or tiny hands. In general, larger phones are slightly difficult to use. With this 5.65 inch display in an 18:9 aspect ratio, the size of the phone is a lot more easier to handle. Versus most of the phones that are available in this price bracket with a metal unibody design, which was a really important thing in last year's design aspect. Most companies have followed and switched from plastic or polycarbonate to all metal design. Honor has gone a different route by adding a glass front and a glass back. This definitely does a good job for making the phone look premium, but it is also that much more brittle, and if you drop it, you have chances of breaking two pieces of glass instead of just the one on the front. The overall design is also premium to look at, is extremely glossy, and the sapphire blue color that I have over here is one of the better colors between the midnight black and the glacier gray. Now, because the display is an IPS LCD display, the edges of the display are squared off and not rounded off as you'd see on AMOLED displays. The colors are also slightly more accurate and you don't see any blue tint, which is again thanks to the LCD display. But then because it's an LCD display, the levels of black and the saturation that you get with AMOLED screens is something that you will not get on this device. Viewing angles are fantastic, and visibility indoors as well as outdoors on the Honor 9 Lite is pretty good. Now, most apps will run at full screen, and you do have the ability to scale apps that are not supporting the 18:9 aspect ratio at this moment to take the full advantage of the display. You can also hide the buttons at the bottom while you're using the phone in certain areas. Again, utilize the full view of the display, giving you a lot more screen real estate. This also comes in handy to do multitasking. So if you have the constant need to watch a YouTube video while browsing the internet, you should be able to do that with multitasking enabled on this phone. Another great thing about the Honor 9 Lite, which sort of sets it apart from the competition in this price bracket, is the fact that it does come with the latest version of Emui with Android 8 out of the box, which is something that a lot of other companies, including Honor's some devices, are struggling with in getting. So the update has not yet fully rolled out for many manufacturers. The Honor 9 Lite comes with Android 8 out of the box, which is definitely a good thing. Now, with that, you also get Honor's own customizations and features of Emui. So a lot of people who do like those customizations will continue to enjoy them. You do have the ability to duplicate apps that you would use on the frequent with dual SIMs, so WhatsApp, even Facebook. You can have several accounts. Things like Snapchat that don't support several accounts, you can enable dual accounts of those. Now, day-to-day performance from the phone, jumping between applications, multitasking, and things that you would use on the device on a daily basis work really well. The phone is fast and responsive thanks to a mixture of the latest version of Emui and the fact that the phone runs Android 8 out of the box. It seems that RAM management is really good, but only after extensive testing over several weeks, we'll be able to tell you definitely if the phone does slow down or not. But for now, it doesn't seem that the phone is slowing down in our experience, and that's a good thing. Benchmarks, however, speak a different language, and we saw low scores on benchmark throughout AnTuTu and Geekbench. Gaming, on the other hand, was good. We enjoyed gaming on games like Asphalt 8. I wouldn't say that the gaming experience is the best that you can get, but it is definitely up there with the devices available in this price bracket. I would have liked to see slightly better performance from the device. Another downside to the Honor 9 Lite is the fact that the phone does not have a USB Type-C connector and it still uses micro USB. Granted that they do have Honor's fast charge technology, so the phone does charge up relatively quickly, but it does not support things like Quick Charge 3.0 to give you a full battery life in about an hour and a few minutes. So you'll be stuck to the charger for a slightly longer time, sometimes upwards of 1.5 to 2 hours. Battery life on the phone in general is great. You should find yourself using the 3000 mAh battery throughout the day and lasting towards the end of the day without requiring a charge. Easily getting 5 to 6 hours of screen on time watching video or playing games, which in itself is a good indication of how battery life is going to be on this device. Now, phone calls and network capability seems to be consistent with several other devices that we have tested. Networks remain strong in areas where in general networks are strong. We found call drops to be low and the overall call quality on the earpiece and the microphone to be great, making this a good communication device and the primary role for a phone. Now, the highlighted feature of the Honor 9 Lite is the fact that there are dual cameras on the back and dual cameras on the front. With a combination of a 13 megapixel primary sensor and a 2 megapixel depth sensor on both the front and the back, the Honor 9 Lite manages to give you really good bokeh mode and really good portrait shots on the front as well as the back. It does manage to give you a good amount of isolation of the corners of your subject, allowing you to blur out the backgrounds really well. Now, this is primarily software based and we found that it works really well in most scenarios, but if you're in a low light environment, you'll see a lot of noise and grain on your pictures, whether you're taking it from the front camera or the rear camera. Video quality is also consistent. It's not the best that we've seen. There is no optical or electronic image stabilization. So if you have shaky hands like mine, you'll find that video is shaky. Also, video is only at 1080p, which is something that you should be considering. Image quality out of the portrait and bokeh mode is really good. You get good amounts of saturation and accurate color reproduction on the images. Focus is also really quick, and even with the bokeh mode and portrait mode turned off, you'll see a good amount of depth of field in your images and you can get really good blur with a natural shot, which is something that I was surprised by with the camera of the Honor 9 Lite. So to conclude, the Honor 9 Lite is a good looking phone with a great new design, but it makes it slightly more brittle. With the glass back and the glass front, you have to be doubly safe with your phones. So if you're prone to dropping your phone a lot, this may not be the device for you. The cameras work great because of the dual camera setup in the front as well as the back, but they do not work great in low light environments. Also, video is only kept at 1080p. Now, because the phone is quite identical to the Honor 7X, also just like the Honor 7X, it's lacking a USB Type-C port and is instead using a micro USB port, which is something that I personally dislike. The phone is more compact and easier to use with one hand. It does have Android 8 out of the box, which is a good thing, and overall seems to be a really good package for the price of about $10,999. Now, with major competition from companies like Xiaomi and Motorola still weeks or even months away, the Honor 9 Lite fits into a price bracket that will be the sweet spot for a lot of people, even though for a little bit more you can get devices like the Xiaomi Mi A1, the Moto G5S Plus, and even the Honor 7X, which was launched last month. That's it for this video, guys. If you liked it, don't forget to smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're not already a part of Team iGyaan. Do check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Google+. This has been Bharat. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.